Hello, today I'm going to teach you a little bit about indoor fruit trees. So your first question might be indoor fruit trees, but these are outside. Well, yeah, for the spring I move them outside because that's way more convenient. I don't have to worry about watering them and that kind of stuff. I just put them outside and the rain gets them most of the time. That's pretty easy. And then you might be thinking trees, how can you put trees inside? Trees are super big. Like you look at that tree, that would never fit in any kind of house. But you can keep pruning trees and keep them really small and bonsai them, and you can still get fruit on them. Lemon trees are my favorite ones for this. I've been doing them for a couple of years. I'd highly recommend it if you like lemons or if you like houseplants. You can have a lemon tree inside that gets lemons. If you look on this one right here, it's actually a little big for what I want it to be, so I want to prune it down, but on all the tallest branches, it's got little lemons starting. So after these lemons are ripe and harvest is when I'll prune them down and then make it a little smaller. But yeah, even years ago when this was a little, quite a bit smaller, it was still getting 1 to 2, 3 lemons every year, something like that. And right now, when I counted last time, I saw 9 lemons on here for a tree this size. So you can get a pretty good amount of lemons out of a pretty small space. So for these trees over here, I'm just starting out trying these new ones. So I have lemons there, and they've been awesome for a lot of years, and then bananas, which have been terrible. They haven't gotten a single banana, and they just keep producing more banana trees. So if you look at this one, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 banana trees. I started out with 1 banana tree in that pot, and it just keeps making more and more banana trees. So if you like trees or houseplants for their decorative features, maybe a banana would be okay. But if you actually want to get fruit, bananas are kind of terrible. Where the lemons, they do really good. First year I had them, they were getting lemons, and it was back about this big, and it had a lemon on it, full-size lemon, so it was pretty crazy. These ones over here, I'm trying them out. We're gonna see, we got some citrus trees, a guava tree, a couple of cherry trees, and we'll see which ones manage to get fruit. That'll be cool. And then I'll keep them trimmed back and see the lemons. So maybe in a little while I'll have an update video what's going on with these ones. Yeah, so when you're getting started with your indoor fruit trees, there's only a few things to consider. You got the plant itself, and you got the soil, and you got temperature and the pot. So I'll walk you through each one of those, starting with the soil. So for these ones, what I'm doing is a mix of potting soil plus my local dirt. I'm doing that because of the price of soil. So the dirt around me is not super great, but it is free, so that is an advantage. And the potting soil I'm getting from old pots that had annuals in them. So they had the annual plant in them, the plant died, and the soil was still left behind, and it was good potting soil. So I mix it together at a 40-20 kind of a ratio. You see it looks like mostly potting soil in there, but I got a little bit of the local soil in there too to save money. We'll see how it does. It's done really great with the lemons. So yeah, just think about what your local soil is, what you got around. That's my recommendation. Doesn't need to be perfect all of the time. Somebody who's a really educated plant person might know all about different kinds of soil, get you the best stuff to get the highest yields. I just go for what I've got, and it's been working pretty good. So the next thing you want to think about is the pots. You see I have a wide variety of pots. Similar to the dirt, my strategy is just go with whatever was free. So I asked people if they had plant pots they don't want, and then they gave them to me, and then I used all the ones that were about the right size. And what I was looking for was stuff that is strong, good sized, and lightweight, because I put them inside in the winter and take them outside in the summertime. I want to not have to carry around these big heavy cement pots and that kind of thing, but I also want them to be strong enough that they don't fall apart when you pick them up. Like this one over here, I'm probably gonna have to replace it because the pot itself has a little bit of a crack in it. Since it's plastic, it gets weak in the sun, and then after a year or so you pick it up and it just falls right apart. Where these terracotta ones, they're really strong. really good pots like those ones. And an advantage of them too is that this terracotta outside can absorb water. So if you water your pot plants a lot, these ones are good for people who like to water a lot, where like these ones outside doesn't absorb any water at all. So it'll sit in there, and if you water a lot, you can overwater them pretty easily. Where these ones, it's harder to overwater them. That's about the consideration for those ones. But yeah, I'd say just get something that's a good size, and then the cheapest thing you can find. That's the way I go about it. If money were no concern, I'd probably buy all terracotta ones. Next we've got the water and the air. So one thing with fruit trees, a lot of them are from tropical environments. Like you look at these banana trees, I haven't been taking very good care of them. So you see the leaves are kind of like this. That's because of the humidity mostly. It hasn't been very humid. And if you want like a really good looking banana leaf, you want to spray it with water probably every day. Keep the leaves nice and humid and healthy. Depending on where you live, you might have enough humidity to keep them healthy, but I haven't been taking good care of them since I want to get rid of them, and I don't really like the banana trees. But yeah, consider humidity for them. Consider air quality kinds of things. Now, another thing to think about is the temperature. The reason why I don't just plant these in the ground and leave them around all the time is because I live in a very cold area. So in the winter, all of these would die off. So I just want to keep them inside anytime it's getting close to freezing. So the first day I see it get around 40 in the fall, I bring them inside. Where when I see it's not getting below like 50 overnight anymore, I'll put them outside when we're safe from the frost, that kind of thing. You look at this guy, it's a Jamaican cherry tree. He's not made for cold, freezing winters. But when you put them inside, they do just fine over the winter. They're made for those tropical environments, so you keep their temperatures all like regular, nice and warm. They do well even in the winter. Keep them in a nice sunny spot. You're good to go. If you look here, I wanted to show off how these lemon trees work. You see, you get these nice little flowers, then they turn into these little things like this after they get pollinated, and then they turn into little lemons like this, and then grow into great big lemons. And then once they're the normal size lemons, they turn yellow and you're good to go. I like to squeeze them into a lemonade, something like that. Really good fruits, I like them. And you'll see here, I got a couple more to pot, so I'll show you how I go about the potting process in order to help you with your lemon tree thing, or any indoor fruit trees you want to do. And I will also teach you a little bit about pruning, and I have learned how to propagate the lemon trees as well. So you can take off a little cutting, dip it into some rooting hormone, put it into some dirt, and lots of times they'll take off. So I'll have a video showing you how to do that kind of stuff coming out pretty soon.